Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's staying safe out there and everyone is not being stressed out about how the world is altogether lately. And remember to wear your masks and also remember to wash your hands at all times to stay safe out there, people, please. But aside from that, this video I would honestly want to talk about BNA and honestly why I see it as a black anime as a whole. Now, why I see it as a black anime as a whole is because of the fact of there a lot of attributes and a whole lot of I guess some symbolism inside the anime as a whole when it comes to like just blackness and how they talk about blackness altogether. They don't per se say it 100% because again it is anime. But aside from that, let me get down to honestly why I feel like it's a black anime. For one thing, it's this concept. The concept of basically you have a whole society where there's two sides. A normal human side slash normal human society, and then you have a society where there's a minority group where they are called a beastman minority group. The beastman minority group, they have the abilities to become humanoid like animal beings or human beings, mainly animal human beings, like humanoid animal beings, where it's like nothing changes when they turn like into a humanoid like animal. Their body size slash structure are still the same at a human size level, and on top of that, they honestly like basically act the same as a human. They're just more humanoid. Nothing changed drastically. And on top of that, another thing about a beastman genetic makeup as a whole is they have the ability to switch back anytime they want into their normal human appearances. Now, aside from all that, that actually as a concept as a whole, I feel like it gives me X-Men vibes, and on top of that, it also gives me like other animal based like animated animes and movie vibes and pop culture like Zootopia and Beastars all together because of the fact of well, both Zootopia and Beastars as like mediums and pop culture medium as a whole, they honestly tackle like honestly racial I guess underlined racial differences and also species differences altogether between those two properties of like pop culture. Another thing that honestly makes me feel like it's like X-Men a little bit is because of the fact that well these people can have the ability to transform back in and out of a humanoid based animal like form. And it's very interesting and it's unique. And on top of that, they also have like the strong abilities of whatever animal they are. Like a good example is if you're a bird, you can fly. If you're a bear, you're most likely have the strength of a bear. The list can go on. But aside from that, you also have the main character like Michiru. Michiru basically is 100% human, but in the beginning of the anime, because of this one accident that happens to her at a hospital, she gets like DNA of a beastman. So her beastman DNA is like Tanuki based traits, and she also have like Tanuki based abilities, which is very unique, especially as a beastman of her own like rights altogether, because or half beastman altogether her own rights, and in a way it's written very well, especially for Michiru to be like that as a whole, because there are some episodes where she has a feeling or a desire to become human again because she feels like she's not a beastman. And then there's also other times where it's like she's proud of looking like a beastman and being a beastman and slowly becoming one more and more, and just honestly realizing that she fully accepts it. There's actually some episodes where, like any other main character, like Problem, she has a problem with transforming back in and out of her beast form, and that the anime as a whole makes this really important, or they drive this like small plot or this small problem for Michiru really hard home, because there are some like territories in Beast City, which is a whole nother thing, because Beast City was only created because other beastmen who are of the same minority group, they have to have amnesty in one place, which is AKA the Beast City. And well, they're only known to be, I guess, more peaceful and more like, I guess, have their own way there, and just honestly not feel ashamed for being who they are or what type of like race slash species they are as a whole, because they're not different from humans, any other like normal human. But sadly, normal humans, they just gonna crap on them and just have prejudice against them, and have a little bit of underlying racism a little bit in there too sometimes. Heck, there's actually one theory in the anime where there's a theory where basically beastmen have like this one flaw where they can get so emotional that they can turn on their own and destroy themselves on their own, or eradicate themselves on their own. In a way, it kind of, when you think about this like concept, when bringing up this theory of beastmen can basically annihilate themselves and just hurt themselves from being emotional. It's like the same like concept theory of like how some people these days, with these protests going on and stuff, some people are going to be like, if Black Lives Matter, how come there's black on black crime, or how come there are black people killing other black people? It's the same like BS statement, or the same BS like theory. In a way, it's 5% true, or have some type of solid foundation, but yet at the same time it's like it's so full of crap, because by the end of the day, who really cares, especially if there's injustice out there altogether. But aside from all that, it's just honestly, yeah, that theory, that's a whole another thing why it drives home to me, where it's like it feels like it's a black anime. A whole nother reason why I feel like it's another black anime is there's this side main character named Shiru. Shiru is basically like a detective cop who is like a wolf, or have wolf-like traits of a beast man, basically. And he's impressively strong and durable as a detective-based cop. And he honestly asks questions first. I mean, he asks questions later and asks whoops first if he gives you like a rough time. Like anyone gives him a rough time, he's just going to give that ass whooping first before asking you questions. But aside from that, why I want to talk about Shiru as another example of why I think the anime is a black anime is because Shiru's resolve as a detective of some sort that's somewhat aligned with the police a little bit in this universe, or in this anime altogether, is just the fact of his want for, I mean, of being like a beast man, no matter what his job and time it is, or what, or who he is. His want and his resolve is to always protect Beastman lives. He's all about that Beast Lives Matter altogether. And in a way, he always have that best interest for Beastman lives altogether. You see that from the first episode where he cries when there's a whole like festival for Beastmen to wave their pride of them being like beastmen where they're always 100% in beast mode. Like, no matter what type of species you are, or where you come from, or how you were born, with whatever, like, species based traits, you're welcome into, like, Beast City, and you're always going to have like the freedom to be who you really are instead of being ashamed or feeling like you're an eyesore to all society, like how normal human society can be, sadly. Same thing, how basically certain white people or certain people in general in American society can look down on us from time to time. Now, aside from that example or those examples, another thing that I have to like point out when it comes to like this video on why I feel like BNA is a black anime is because of the fact that well, there's just one other episode where you have this one bird based like beastman where he can, I don't know what type of like bird he can turn to. I feel like it was a stork or something like that, or a pelican. Basically, he has the ability to be like this formidable bird that can fly anywhere and travel anywhere. And of course, you want to travel anywhere because it's in its instincts as a bird-based beastman to like migrate and just do whatever they want by traveling. Aside from all that, he gets down nitty gritty to his backstory and how he got so good at flying as a skill, and how he like talks about it is he basically points out his knowledge of knowing like how wind turbulences can be, and you fly with the wind, not against it. He also has a unique ability where a unique skill or ability or a niche to like know what type of gust of wind can come whatever area, whether it's east, south, northwest, or north south, whatever. He can tell what type of gust of wind will come through, and he's pretty good at it, and it's impressive. So he talks about his knowledge, and besides him talking about his base knowledge of wind turbulences and how he knows how the wind works and just how he can fly so excellent, he talks about his family lineage and how his ancestors taught him through time how to have that natch of knowing what type of weather to fly and what type of like wind turbulences you should rely on and not rely on. But sadly, he gets deeper into his backstory, and he points out the fact of they have been shot mid-flight while flying through other like countries or states. Now y'all want to know how they got shot down? The reason why they got shut down is because of my bad. I had to take a breather. But it's just the reason why they got shut down by mid-flight is because of the fact that bird beastmen, they're going to have like a whole lot of ID, whole lot of migration paper, immigrant or migration papers, just because of the fact of they're of a different like species or a race. And it doesn't even matter whether or not you're, what type of hometown you come from. If you're trying to migrate to another place or travel to another place, they're going to have way more paperwork than just a simple, um, a simple like main base paperwork or like main base everyday paperwork. What you need, they're going to need to have like 20 times more paperwork just because of their different species and race. And it's just messed up and sad, especially shot down mid-flight. It's like the same similar thing with us as black people where we struggle and then we get like oppressed or harassed in any other like situation just because of how we look. Again, that's why I say in this anime it resonates with me as a black anime. If I had to like say other like any other last touches to this video because I don't want this video to be too long. It'd be just the fact that they have this mythological like religion where there's this silver wolf like type of, I would say, entity for the first few episodes before you fully learn who the true silver wolf is. There's a silver wolf entity where it's like a myth or a legend in B City, and most people in B City feel like that's their protector. At least that's what their beliefs are. That's their protector, and he protects beast lives altogether. Now, aside from the belief of like the silver wolf being a protector, there's also the fact of some people actually go as far as to believing that the beast wolf can, I mean, the silver wolf can also like help them at any time of need, no matter how bad the situation is. Now, why I bring like this up as an example, even though it can be like a pretty good reference, callback reference to like something like Pokemon Sword and Shield with the whole, their whole mythological religious background of their wolf warriors, the Sword and Shield reference. The reason why I bring up, the sort of wolf as a concept in BNA is because of the fact that the silver wolf, you know, in black, I was like to say this, in black community altogether, we can arguably be way more like Christians than certain other people in America. That's all I'm going to say when it comes to that topic. And even the anime of BNA kind of like drives that home even harder when there's like one other episode where the main character Michiru, she gets all stressed out because of all these bad things happening to like people that she knows and love. But then when there's this one figure from this one like, I guess, religious group that kind of goes behind the silver wolf concept. She's there to try and help her, and I guess like Michiru's guardian. I'm just going to call her auntie. She's not 100% her auntie, but I'm just going to call her auntie because by the end of the day, she kind of like her guardian or someone who just lets her sleep there because, well, she's just being nice and humble. But aside from all that, yeah, like Michiru's auntie, she going to say, well, this girl's in a whole lot of trouble because, she just in a whole lot of stress. And this girl from like the religious group that like, I guess believes in the silver wolf even deeper, she honestly says statements like, may you be the best beastman that you can be. And the auntie is like, may the best beastman that you can be. It's like the same thing with us as black people where we'd be like saying amen, amen, or you just say look, thank God or something like that. Basically, you all get what I'm saying. Basically, it resonates. It resonates with me as a black person, or it resonates with me as a blurred to feel like this is a black based anime. And the very last thing I would like to say is the villain in the anime. I'm not going to try and like spoil that. The villain of the anime altogether. How should I say this? Dude is bad as Nixon. That's all I'm going to say. Dude can be bad as Nixon for what type of plot he has for like, Beast City altogether and what his true like, I guess, motives are for Beast City. But that's my whole video. That's my whole video, y'all. Please leave a like if you like it. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video and my other videos. Thank you and bye.